Hi guys, good afternoon. I hope everybody's doing okay. This is Callie from Elements by Callie, and today I just want to come to you with a quick video on some of the new styles I've actually been working on for my waist bead collection. So today's color is of course blue, as you can see here, but I'm focusing on the micro mini beads. These are the 11/0 size. So today I just want to actually show you, I'm doing them both in elastic as well as the traditional 100% mercerized cotton. The set I'm working on at the moment is the 11/0 glass seed beads with a couple larger size accent beads. Excuse me, that's my little baby Yorkie barking at lizards, which is his favorite thing to do. So I'm going to try to get through this video and hopefully he won't interrupt too much with his barking. Like I said, lizards come on my porch, and so that's his favorite thing to chase. So there lies his compulsive barking because he wants to go outside, and I'm not letting him outside to go play with lizards. I already picked up a couple this morning that he politely chewed the tail off and left them in the middle of my living room floor. But that's a whole nother story, whole nother video. So basically I started making waist beads about 2 years ago. So of course, in the midst of being home for COVID, I really focused on building a business making waist beads. I make them in the elastic cording as well as the traditional. I actually have a full website. You can actually check me out there at elements.com or visit me also on Instagram at Elements by Callie to actually see a lot of the styles and designs I'm making. I also do like custom clothing, shoes, and things of that nature. But for the purpose of today's video, I did some rebranding of my waist beads logo. And so to go along with that, I thought that I would make some new styles to actually complement my new logo. So if you have a chance to either visit me on Instagram or go over to my website, you will see the actual new logo. It's actually the elements themselves. So it has fire, water, air, and earth. So I thought I'd do something a little bit funky this time, and I actually picked like the images of 4 lady silhouettes, I'm sorry, plural. And they're actually in the color shading of the actual elements. So I'm really excited about that. I'm waiting on the mock-ups to be done and some print work. So I can't wait to actually see my new logo all over my packages when they go out for mailing and things of that nature. So with that being said, let's get into these waist beads. So this current set that I'm working on, I've already clamped the ends, as you can see. This clamp I think I've seen a lot of people use in their YouTube videos, especially for jewelry making, but you just need something to clamp off the end so that your beads don't fall off. Sometimes I'll still knot the end and put the clamp, but in this particular case I just clamped it. Hopefully you can actually see that. Yeah. So they're really, really, really pretty blue, and it's got some rainbow coloring in there. These are the 11/0 in terms of the tiny beads, and then the larger rainbow ones here are the actual 6/0. Sorry about the imaging, guys. It's going in and out. So making the actual micro mini beads, which is what I call these tend to take me about 2 hours of uninterrupted time, simply because with this particular set, I literally have to pick them up one bead at a time, just because, again, these are the 11/0 beads and they're super, 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 super tiny. Okay, so if I can get close. Okay, so they look larger here than they actually are, but my big eye needle can't be used in order to pick these up as well as thread them using the elastic cording. I don't know if you can actually see that. Hopefully you can. So I will use the elastic cording and for the ones I have to do by hand. Again, this particular one, the styles tend to be kind of freestyle. They just tend to take longer because I have to do the pickup method one at a time. With the larger beads, you can put them in a bowl, use a bead spinner, or even with the needle and pick up 10, 12, sometimes 15 at a time. Or you can use a bead spinner, which also works phenomenal and saves you a lot of time. So traditionally, the ones with the thread, if I can thread them, and use the big eye needle, I can get a full set done within 45 minutes to an hour versus the manual one that I actually have to do by hand. It could take me up to 2 hours. Typically when I start, just to show you what I'm working with, the elastic cording I use is this particular brand right here that I got from Hobby Lobby. When I do make the elastic ones, I tend to give my customers a choice if they want it just elastic, no actual class, or they can actually add a class and have it be elastic if they don't want to commit to the waist beads and wear them permanently. So that's actually great threading. I actually bought those on sale. The string that I use is I actually use two different ones. This is one of them, the 100% mercerized cotton. My favorite one, I'm waiting on a new order. I buy from another waist bead maker. She actually has a much larger spool, which is also the 100% mercerized cotton. Her name is Charming T. She makes beautiful stuff. She does some by hand as well as she buys them wholesale. I believe she also does beads that you can actually purchase by the bundle in bulk if you want to make and design your own. So definitely check her out. Again, it's Charming T. You can find her here on YouTube. You can also find her on Instagram. But the 100% mercerized cotton I started using after watching her site. Probably about a year and a half ago. I was home so much due to COVID. We're actually still working from home. So I did watch a lot of her videos and tutorials and kind of watch her journey in terms of her business growing. So she's doing phenomenal. I'm really proud of her. So I just want to show you, again, I'm kind of focusing on blues. Maybe after this, I will focus on red, representing fire as one of the actual elements. I tend to try to do 4 or 5 at a time before I kind of take a break or call it quits, just so I can feel somewhat productive. On a good day, if I'm really focusing on interrupted, excuse me, I can churn out about 8 to 10 waist beads. Again, depending on the size and the style and what I'm actually doing. My goal is, I think I have around 200 waist beads. I wanted to try to add another, 50 to 100 because I wanted to attend some up and coming vendor events. Not that you need that many, but I've made so many over the last year. Sold a number of them, but some of the styles I make, several of them. That way I have plenty if they sold really good. But I wanted to be able to attend some vendor events as well as feel like I'm putting the most inventory on my website, so that way if I do get an influx of orders, I'm not up all night trying to make jewelry, because again, they do take some time and I still work full time. This particular set for my string ones, I tend to leave about 10 inches of tie-on string. Okay, what I'll usually do is knot one end so that way the beads don't fall off when I'm making it. And then on the other one, I will knot the string a little bit further down. That way the wearer, because these again have to be tied on, can actually adjust them where they want. So again, 45 to 50 inches. I'll get this one a little bit closer. This is the Micro Mini. Okay, so it's got the blue, it's got some gold accents, and this is actually like an off-white with a few clear crystals kind of thrown in there. Okay, this one I have not named yet, but I tend to name all of my waist beads. So far I've only named the current one I'm working on, which is Neptune. This is the first one that I made today. Super, super pretty. This one measures out 50 inches. Okay, get a little closer. So it's got the blue butterfly, some silver. Actually, that's still kind of a rainbow accent bead. And then I have the clear crystal one. So this is super, super pretty. Okay, again, it's a tie-on. Get that a little bit closer. I think I wasn't sure what to call this one because of the butterflies, but I'll think of something because I just really love that. It's really, really super pretty. I think that's going to do really well. And this one is literally just the same blue with the clear crystals and this really pretty shape. It looks silver, but depending on how the light hits it, you can see some of that rainbow effect. Really, really, really super pretty. Again, this one is 50 inches, and as you can see, I do the 10 inches of cording. Okay, so I think this is 2, 4, it looks like 6 strings, but I'm pretty sure it's 7 or 8. Okay, I can't quite get in there to see, but if I'm not mistaken, that's 2, that looks like 4, yep, that's 4, 5, 6. Okay, so the 11/0 can take anywhere from 6 to 7 strings, and as you can see, you see how I knotted it on the end, so that way they don't fall off. And guys, excuse my nails, I know I need to get them done. But when I'm making beads this small, it's really hard, especially if I have to pick them up by hand, to try to work with nails on. Okay, so really, really, really super pretty. Whatever beads I have left over, is of course I tend to package them back up, so that way if I get another order, the mixture is already made. And then I just label them, you know, put a nice little label on it that reminds me, you know, which style it actually is. So these actual tubes, as I buy them, I will keep them once the beads are empty, and again, I reuse them. I also do, of course, like a lot of people, the Ziploc method, of course, for any extra beads that are left over. But typically, as I actually make and mix my beads, I tend to, whatever's left over, rather than to re-separate them, I will just pour them in their own separate container, like I said, and label it. That way the mix is already there, so I can actually have that. But for my beads, I actually get them in a lot of different places. Sometimes I buy them wholesale and bulk online, but these particular ones I actually got from Michaels. Actually, they were having a 60% off sale, as well as the butterfly beads. Now, I did see these also in another particular shape, which I thought about going to go get today, simply because, let me see if you can actually see in there without me ruining these. So you can see my little mixture that's actually in there. Okay, so I'll separate those once I'm done. But that just gives you a little bit of an insight on, and this is my big eye needle that I actually use when I am working with the, see if you can see that. When I am working using the thread, let's see if I can open that for you. Ooh, that's a little tough. I have a longer one, but that one I hate using. So basically what you do is, right, it's a single needle. Okay, it actually comes apart, and what you do is you can actually thread either end, because you're going to put the thread here through this center hole. Okay, just like if you're going to sew something. So if you know how to basically sew, it's the same concept. So instead of the hole being on the end that you would thread, you literally thread it here in the center, and then you can either work from this end or this end. So as you can see, my needle's a little bent. It's taking quite a bit of a beating. These needles are pretty expensive. I think this is from Hobby Lobby or either Michaels, but probably Hobby Lobby, since several months ago, I don't know if you saw my other video, I went to Hobby Lobby and they were having a clearance sale on beads, and I just lost my mind and bought, I swear, everything except for like 3 colors. In hindsight, I wish I had bought one of the colors I didn't buy was this particular brown, because I thought I had some at home more than enough, and brown just really wasn't selling that well. But now times have shifted and I'm in desperate need for brown. So basically what I do is, just to give you an example, right? So if I'm doing my strings, so again, for the 11/0, this can take 6 to 7 strings depending on the bead hole size. They're not all equal. If it's the 8/0 or 6/0, I can do anywhere from 8 to 12 strands. And of course, the more strands, the better, because of course that's going to make it much more sturdy. I don't know why that keeps losing focus. It's terrible. Okay, so I just want to show you really quickly, if you are doing these for the first time, okay, you have a big eye needle. Again, what you want to do, of course, it's super helpful if all the threads are on the, you want to make them the same length, okay? Oops. There you go. So you want to put it through there And I'm just going to give you an example because this one's already, oh, I pulled it out. This one's actually already done, but I'm just going to give you a quick example of if you were doing this and you're new to making waist beads. Again, I think before I started making waist beads, I probably watched 20 or 30 videos just to kind of learn the process. So what you want to do is pull it down enough, right? Once you've threaded it, okay, needle's going to be in the center. You can see that, okay, thread on both ends, right? Again, this is just for demonstration purposes because mine is already done. All right, so I'm going to just pick up one bead, okay, just to show you. So of course, again, the larger ones, as you can see the hole is pretty significant. So you definitely can get more on there. And literally, you're just going to bead them on there. So if I were to do a bunch of these, literally, you could just take your needle, go back and forth. Let me see if I can make that closer. I know that looks really bad. I'm sorry. Okay, so you want to get them on there. And you simply want to pull them through, okay? So as you pull them through to the actual bead, okay, this one has a knot already there, so it's not going to go below there. But that is the concept, and you want to, again, as you bead them, string them down, run them down the actual length of the actual string. And you want to, again, measure them out. Most people will tend to do 5 to 10 inches of free string on either side. That way it gives people room to tie them. The other thing I like to do is once I reach the end, in addition to tying them, I will add a pearl anchor bead on the end, just as a nice accent. I like to do that. So those are some of my blues. One of my personal ones that I actually did was this particular micro mini here. I don't recall what I actually named this, but this is one of the first ones that I made for myself. So it's not quite 2 years old, but it's definitely one of the first ones I started making after watching, like I said, a bunch of tutorials on making waist beads, which kind of led me to making them for other people and then resulting in just expanding out to anklets and all kind of other things. My favorite thing about the micro mini beads is that they are literally very seamless to wear. They're really comfortable versus the larger size. And I thought I had one out that was already made, but I don't. Actually, you know what? I do have one I can grab for you really quick. Let me just take a look. So this particular one is elastic, as you can tell, right? It has some stretch in there. I actually put a clasp on this. This is after I took a class learning on how to put the clasp on. I'm gonna redo this one and change the clasp. It was already this like really interesting old age kind of antique color because that's what they had at the time. But I'm gonna change it to be silver, and I might even change the anchor beads here on the end. That was a particular technique that I learned from looking at Charm and Tea's website on just basically how to make these. So as I was taking and watching her journey and her making waist beads, she did a segment on adding a clasp. So I definitely learned a lot from her on that one. So that's one of my favorites. And again, if you're new to making waist beads, what you want to do is definitely, you have to make them based on your lifestyle, right? So if you're a pretty rough person, you might not want to start out with, too much, with a whole lot, because most people, when they're first starting out wearing waist beads, they tend to forget that they're on, and you kind of yank and pull on them, and so they're prone to pop if you're not very careful or you don't measure yourself correctly. I will make waist beads with charms by request. This is actually one of my favorites. This is the pink one that I did with the hamsa. Let me turn it around so you can actually see the hamsa charm. It is super, super cute. So it's pink with crystal accents. And as you can see here, this is the screw-on clasp one that I actually did. Okay. I believe this particular class is from Michaels, if I'm not mistaken. So this one is actually my favorite in comparison to the one that was on my Micro Mini. Okay, so again, charms can be added. I added this one after, again, I saw another waist bead how to. So if you need to, guys, there's tons of those videos all out on Instagram, YouTube, a lot of designers out there. So if you're interested in making waist beads or starting your own business or just making them for yourself, you can get your beads just about anywhere these days. And then I have some little simple ones. If I can actually get them out of the little container. Let's see. Here's another little cute one I did. I like to call it Blues Clues. This is also from my blue line. This one is a elastic waist bead, so it doesn't have any sort of cording on it. So again, I might throw that in there with my blues selection just because I have that. Let's see. I have, last inventory count, I had over 200. I'm trying to increase that. I want to get ready for a vendor show that I want to do. And so I want to have like a really good selection of waist beads. Here's a couple more I did in the Micro Minis. So there's a off-white with some bronzy gold accents. That one's really pretty. Okay, and some crystals. Here is a Micro Mini set in red with the gold accents. That one's elastic. And this one is actually one of my favorites. It's called Vacation. I actually did a matching anklet that also goes with it. Let me see if I can get it off of here. This actually sold really, really well. Reminded me, especially during the summer, okay? So it's got all the vibrant colors like you're going to carnival or something partyish with some accent beads. Okay, this one, this is my other favorite class. Okay, if I do the gold, I tend to use this one. They're very sturdy. This one does not stretch. And what I like to do when I'm packaging them, this is the matching anklet that I actually put together with that. So again, if you're going on vacation, ladies, okay, you need a nice little waist bead to kind of accent your waist for that bikini that you're going to be wearing. You're going to be out there sunbathing. Get into it. This is Vacation Micro Mini Beads. And let's see, I had another really cool one I wanted to show you. Just to give you some variety. Here's another kind of tricolor one. I don't remember what I actually named this one. So it's got the clear crystals, some little ocean teal kind of blue, and then some black. I only made 2 in this particular shade just because I just wanted to try it out and see. I believe this one is 30 inches, how that actually makes up. But yeah, so if you'd like to see more videos or like my content, please like, share, subscribe, leave a comment if you have any questions. Again, you can follow me on Instagram at Elements by Callie. You can also visit my website, which is elementsbycallie.com, for more information on ordering, or just, if you have any suggestions or tips. The other thing I want to show you, the very first waist bead that I actually made, which I'm super, super proud of, and I took it off for the purpose of this video just to show it to you. I tend to make waist beads depending on, for myself, what I'm going through. Like right now I'm trying to build my business and increase my sales and things like that. So depending on what you're manifesting, whether it be love, finance, stability, you want peace, spiritual grounding, things of that nature, you can use all kind of different colors, with whatever they mean to you. And of course you can follow the color wheel as well as look up what the colors mean and do custom orders. But depending on, what your purpose is for wearing waist beads, whether it be weight loss tracking or again, body adornment or some sort of manifestation for goals, you can certainly make you a set of waist beads or order them, and you want to make sure the maker of the waist beads is making them with the best intentions. They're in a happy space, they're in a happy place, a happy mindset, because again, you don't want to have any sort of negative energy go into making your waist beads. I also sanitize and wash and sterilize them once they're done. Um, some people will burn sage, they'll light a candle to kind of meditate and just create a safe, happy space. But I just wanted to share with you my very first waist bead that I actually made for myself. So this was made out of, my granny had a necklace that she used to wear all the time. Okay. And she stopped wearing it because it popped. I mean, she's passed away from breast cancer a few years ago, but I kept the actual necklace because I kept saying I was going to get it restrung, restrung, restrung. And of course, I never did. So if you actually look at the colors, again, I didn't have anywhere particularly that I was wearing it to. And then when I thought about making it and I saw the shades of pink, and I'm like, hey, I can use that to kind of remind me of her and her struggle and her battle with breast cancer. She lived for a very long time with it, and she had went through her first bout and did really well, and then of course it went into remission, but then it resurfaced. So when she passed away and we were of course going through her things, I had asked my mom if she mind if I kept the necklace. And so I had them in my jewelry box for a very long time. So thankfully, I actually had enough of the necklace to where I could make me my very own very first set of waist beads. This one, again, I don't wear very often because, again, some of the beads are quite large. But particularly because like now it's breast cancer awareness month for October.